Hey everybody, this is Geo Joe here to introduce a new product from GeoVision today. This is the new GV-PTZ5810-IR camera. So this is a new indoor 5 megapixel PTZ that does have 5 times optical zoom. Great camera for interior office applications, maybe a warehouse application where you need full pan, tilt, and zoom capabilities. And it does give you the 5 megapixel and 5x optical, so you can zoom in and get all the details that you need. Now, another couple pretty cool features of this camera is it does have built-in AI analytics on the camera. So things like intrusion alarm, line crossing, entering and leaving area, those analytics are built right into the camera, and you can actually log into the web page and configure those right within the web page of the camera. Now, the other nice thing about the analytics being built into the camera is the unit actually has a mic and speaker built in. So let's say, for example, you wanted to set up a intrusion alarm analytic and maybe you wanted to trigger a sound to play, maybe like a warning sound if someone intruded into an area. So the speaker that's built in would allow you to do that with this camera. And it's schedulable as well. So for example, if you only wanted to trigger that alarm maybe after hours, that can be done. Now, the built-in mic and speaker could also be utilized for two-way audio communications. Maybe say that you're a manager at a facility, you're sitting at the GeoVision Edge Recording Manager software or the VMS, and you want to be able to talk out to someone that's out at the camera. That would be able to be done with this camera. So again, that's just some of the basic features of the GV-PTZ5810-IR. As far as form factor, typically this is going to be installed on a ceiling, in this fashion, or on a wall. One thing I would like to point out too that's kind of convenient here is you've got a nice mounting bracket that just twists right off. You can go ahead and get that mounting bracket mounted, and then you're going to twist it back on when you're ready to get it mounted. So should make for a pretty quick and easy installation. And with that said, let's just jump into the web interface and take a look at some of the setup and some of the features of this product. All right, so just here in the web interface of the GV-PTZ5810-IR, and you can, of course, do all of your setup of like the AI analytics in here. You can set up for recording audio, turn on two-way audio communications. That can all be done through the web page. So I just want to kind of go through a little bit of that while we're here. So obviously up in the top right here, you've got your pan, tilt, and zoom controls. And if I'd like, I can just hit these and I can move my camera left, right, up, down. I can look all around at my scene if needed. And then again, I did mention it does have a 5 times optical zoom. So I can go ahead and do my 5-time optical right there. And then of course you do have digital zoom on top of that if you're viewing it within the GeoVision software. So you do have the ability to do both optical and then digital zoom as well. Up in the top left here, you've got your setup. So if I hit that, this is where you can go in and you can make setting changes to the cameras. One of the things that I really want to focus on here would be on the intelligence section. So if we click that, this is where you can go in and you can set up the analytics. So for example, maybe you want to enable the intrusion analytic. You can go ahead and hit the check there and then hit the configure button. And once you do that, it's going to bring in here to where you can create an analytic rule. So for example, I already created a detection zone right here. You can set like a time threshold, a sensitivity level. You can choose if you want to trigger based on motor vehicles or pedestrians. You can also choose a minimum and maximum size. And once you get your parameters set, you can then go into trigger actions, and you've got some options in here. For example, for alarm output, if you would like to play a pre-recorded sound, you can check the alarm sound option. And then if you hit the gear icon, this is where you can go in and you can choose which days of the week and what times you would like that to apply to. So you can go in and choose that information there. You do also have the ability to trigger the onboard relay output of the camera. And that would be by selecting the A to 1 option right here. And then there's some other options here also in the event of the analytics, like recording on the edge, meaning if you have a SD card in the camera, you can do that there. You can do an FTP upload. You can send an email notification. So a lot of different things can be configured right here for the trigger action section. If you hit plan, you can go in and you can basically create a schedule for this. So let's say, for example, you only care about doing the intrusion alarm after business hours. So you can go in here and you can select either armed or unarmed, and then you can highlight your time frames and hit save for the times that you want to enable it. If you go into the PTZ tab, this is where you can set up some parameters related to the PTZ function. So for example, home position, if you'd like to go in and create a specific home position for the camera to return to after a certain amount of idle seconds, you can do that. You can also set a limit to where, let's say you don't want the camera to be able to pan, tilt, or zoom over to a particular area. You can go into the limit section to do that. You can create patrol tours. So if you wanted it to be able to maybe tour and go to different parts of the camera's field of view, you would be able to do that right here as well. Under the image section, this is where you can go in and you can adjust some of the attributes related to the camera. So for example, if you'd like to increase your brightness on your camera, you can go ahead and dial that up there. Contrast, sharpness, you can do an image rotation. So for example, if you mounted it on a wall, or maybe you had it mounted on a table or a ceiling, you can go in and adjust how you want the image to orient right there. And then if you go into exposure, you can change your exposure mode. There's a lot of different settings related to that, such as WDR, WDR level, all kinds of stuff there. Smart illumination, this would be related to the IR that's built in. So you can set it up for keeping it on, or you can turn it off manually. And then of course, you've got your white balance adjustments. You can go in here and you can fine tune as needed. If you'd like to create a privacy mask on the camera to where maybe you blur out an area or put a black box over an area, you do have the ability to do that right here in the privacy mask tab. So you just click that tab, hit add. It's going to give you the mask box here, and you can just draw and place where you want that to be. So this is good if you've got a sensitive area within the camera's field of view and you need to be able to cover it up and not record it and not let anyone see there. This is where you can set that up. If you need to get in and do a firmware upgrade on this camera, you're going to go down to the System tab and Maintenance, and then right up here where it says Software Upgrade, you hit Browse and then find that firmware file and go ahead and upgrade your firmware there. This has been a quick introduction of the new GV-PTZ5810-IR. This is my first time doing an on-screen introduction of a new product. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And for further information on our product line, please check us out at www.geovision.com.tw/US. Thanks a lot for watching.